Hi, this is Jacqueline with Nickel and Dime Decor, and here is Rory Rabbit pillow wrap for the month of April. It comes from the Whole Country Caboodle. It's the name of the people that made it. We're going to have a short video on how I did it. And at the end of the video, there will be a website for you to go to if you need any help with it. Thank you for watching. Hi there. I thought I would, this is Jacqueline with Nickel and Dime Decor, and I thought I would show you the next for April, the wraparound, the pillow that you wrap around your pillow. Cute little girl bunny with a bow and a hat, and I've got her flower on crooked, but you know, it is what it is. The eyes are not straight across, so we're going to say she's a little cross-eyed. But I've already got all the appliques on, and I've used the buttonhole stitch that I like so well. And then the whiskers are just a straight stitch, and a straight stitch on some of the bow. It comes like this. You just, with this piece of felt, old foam core, I don't know what you call it. And you just press the cover, the fabric, onto it. Then we just went around 1/8 of an inch and stitched it down. It makes it easier when you put the binding on, and that's the next step. But before that, I think it's a little plain, and I'm going to make, you know, if you've seen my videos before, you know that I like to do a wavy line and call it quilting. And I'm just going to put 3 wavy lines. I'm going to measure and get 3 wavy lines and go all the way down the length of it and call it quilted. I did it on the first one and it turned out real nice, so that's what I'm going to do on this one. This is 9.5 inches across. So if you did ever the middle, just measure the middle and get your 4 3/4. And then go out from that point to the next one, maybe 2 inches from the middle. And then what I do to make it real easy, let's just do the 4 3/4. Okay, that's my middle line, give or take. It's pretty close. Okay, I just make with my, and it's over in the other room, but with my friction pen, I just make a line straight down, mark it, because it's going to, when you press it, it comes right off. Just mark you a straight line. Now, you're not going to draw a straight line, but then after you've got your straight line on, you just start up here on the side and hit that straight line, go out, hit the straight line. It gives you something to go by. And just evenly space them, you know, between. And you can start on this side if you want to. Hit that middle line, go out about, I usually go out about 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. Depends upon how wide you want your line. And this little thing will turn real easy under the sewing machine, under the needle. So it'll be real easy to do. Alrighty, I'm gonna do that and get all of my little lines on there. And then I'll come back and we'll do the binding. There's my lines, if you can see them. I went in the middle, 4 3/4, and then I just went 2 1/2 isn't halfway, but that's what I did. I went 2 1/2 from the edge over to each one. And that's how I'm gonna start up here, hit this line, go around, and just make an S, you know, an S swervy line. I wanted to do one row for you. When you start in the middle, start on the opposite direction on the other side. It's just for added interest. I backstitched a couple of times when I started, so that, you know, kind of ties your thread. Then just take it by your hands like this and start going, and go pretty fast. It works better if you don't go real slow. And you can lengthen your stitch if you want to. I didn't remember to do that, but that would look a lot better. And then when you get to a point where you want to stop, just back stitch, because you're going to be cutting that thread. So back stitch, cut your thread, and then go on down the line. Now my next stitch is just a little bitty spot right here. So I stopped on this side, so I'm going to start on the other side, and I'm going to make a smaller little stitch in there. Don't forget to back stitch. You always do that when you're starting. Okay. And then if you don't want to cut your threads, that's okay. You can just go on down to the next place. You really don't have to cut your threads each time. Not on a small space, you don't anyway. Go here, and I put my presser foot, I put right there on my seam. It's where I knew how far to go over. And it's not going to be real consistent with each side, but that's okay. This is just for fun. Nothing too... Now I messed up there trying to get my deal out of the way, but it's okay. This isn't something that has to be perfect. Let's see how we did. Looks okay to me. How about you? Then I'll just continue on and do my next one right there, and we're done with it. How cute, how cute. Well, see there, you've learned to quilt and you didn't even know it. Isn't that a cute way to do small things? But you know what? I do it on bigger quilts too. Especially if you have like in the sashing, it makes the sashing so pretty to do that. And it's just a great way to quilt when you don't know how. I'm so glad that we learned that together. I have cut my binding strips to 2.5 inches. I'm going to sew them end to end together, right sides together, and sew them. Then they will be one long strip. Then we will fold them after I sew that together. Then I can fold it in half, and they will be 1 1/4 inch strips. 1 1/4 inch strips is your common binding. We will put it on, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Well, I didn't show you how to put the binding on, but I do want to show you how to join your ends. It's so important. This is what people have such a hard time with when they're putting on binding, and it shouldn't be that way. All right. I have left myself on this right-hand side. I've left myself 5 inches. 5 inches of room. I've double stitched right here 2 or 3 times, so when tugging and pulling, nothing comes loose. All right, this side, my binding is 2 1/2 inches, right? So I want to measure 2 1/2 inches. Right here. I'm just going to make a mark right there. Now take this. There's your mark. And there, you put your right there. It's a lot easier. All right. There's your mark you made, and there's your 2 1/2 inches. You're looking right at it. You take your scissors and you go under your tail, hold this out, and cut at your 2 1/2 inches. Okay? Now, take the bottom side, the right-hand side, spread it out, and you have to kind of fold everything up so you can work with it. And this is how you joined your strips, and then you do the same way with the joining of this. Now, fold it out and take this side just like you do. Get your, I would ordinarily have a ruler, but I don't know where it is, so I'm just going to use this. Draw your line from corner to corner. Not the corner of this. You can't see what I'm doing, can you? But the corner of this bottom fabric, the bottom right here. I can't get my hands out of the way, I'm sorry. Put your tape measure right on your fabric on the bottom. There's right-hand strip. Get a pen, because you'll move everything when you go over to the machine. There's my line. It goes from the point right there to the point of this fabric right here. Now I'm going to sew it. Be right back. And that's why you want to leave so much room, is so that this doesn't become so bundlesome and terrible. It's you just have lots of room to spare. Make sure before you cut your seam here, make sure you did it correctly. And look, perfect. Now we want to trim it. It is the most foolproof way you can ever do a binding and joining your seams. Now, I would take the time to finger press this. And if you have a little edge sticking right there, you can trim it. Nice and snug and perfect. Well, now we'll sew it all together and it'll be good. I have turned the binding around to the right side, and now I'm going to press it all down real good, and then I'll put the rickrack on and I'll show you. Okay, I've done a few things since you've been gone. I have given this little rabbit some blush. Gotta have some rosy cheeks. And then you need a little button in the middle of the flower. I have pinned the rickrack on. I have sewed the binding on the back and turned it over. Then I pinned my rickrack. We are now going to make the little pillowcase, and all you do is put right sides together, overlap, and I have overlapped 3 inches. And my reasoning is I only have a 12-inch pillow, so I could go 11 inches and make it really better, but I think, see, it's going to come out to be like 12 and a half. So I'm going to even change my mind and do a 3.5 inch, because my other pillow case was a little too big. And might as well make it right the first time. So let's just get it to 12 inches and see how much that is overlapped. Well, that's give or take. Okay, let's see how much this is. That will be 4 inches. Four inches exactly. Okay, now just clip this together And all we're going to do is sew where, see, it's already hemmed for us. And we're just going to sew where they hemmed it on that line. So it's going to be pretty thick. So if you want to put in the heavy duty needle, that would be okay. Then you just sew this and you sew this. Then you can just turn it right sides out and put your pillow in. And that's how you do the little pillowcase. Well, there she is. Isn't she a cutie? Now, my pillowcase fits much better making it smaller than I did the first go around on March's pillow. So I know now how much to overlap, but each time you get one of these little towels for the pillowcase, they might measure different. So don't ever assume it's the same each month. I've overlapped so that sitting up on like this in the chair, you can see, you know, everything. So I've got it pretty well centered. Now, all you have to do is mark for your Velcro. And you want it, you know, a kind of snug. So just clip it for right now. And then you want to put your Velcro about, oh, let's see if I can find it. Oh, an inch down from the binding. And it doesn't really matter which one you put on what. Of course, you'll have to cut it to size. But you would take it apart and go over to this one about 1.5 inches or 2 inches, whatever you want to do, and put this strip. And all you do is just sew it on each side on the machine. Put it on there, then take this one and match it up and just pin it. Pin it where you want it, like so, and clip it or whatever you want to do. Cut it to size. You can sew it and then cut it. Try to get it halfway straight. Then wherever this meets is where you want to put your next piece right here. And it will go this way. And you'll sew both sides. Then you can overlap it and fasten it. And you're done with this precious little pillow. Now remember, this is from the Whole Country Caboodle. And you can go, if you need any help, you can go to www.thewholecountrycaboodle.com for help if you need any help with this. You can also go to YouTube, where I'm at. Go to youtube.com/thewholecountrycaboodle. And you'll see videos on how to do everything if you need further help. They have really written out the cutest little patterns, and this is by Leanne Anderson. So, and they're on Facebook also, The Whole Country Caboodle. Well, I've had fun showing you excuse me, I've had fun showing you my little Easter rabbit. Thank you so much for watching Nickel and Dime Decor. God bless.